Yep.
There you are. Hi, Macy. Thanks for recording.
Right.
Okay, you guys. So I am so sad that Kara had an emergency and one of her kiddos got an injury. So they are in the ER getting stitches. She's okay, thank goodness. But it's her baby, so the youngest. So I wanted to hop on here. Didn't want to cancel. But a lot of you don't know me. I'm kind of a black sheep and it works. I don't like attention on me. I still get super nervous when I speak, but I just wanted to, I think it's important going into conference to share and think about what you're wanting to do in these last few weeks of this year and what do you want to do next year. And so I think for me, storytelling is very impactful. And so I want to make this all about you. So when I'm speaking, put yourself in the picture, right? What are your goals? What are you wanting, not just with this business, but what your life to look like? And so I want to start off by sharing I'm Shauntel Lyons, and I've been with It Works since April of 2012. And to say that this business is something that I had zero, it's not even desire. It wasn't even in my realm of things that I would ever potentially consider doing. I'm yellow, I'm introverted, I'm insecure, all the negative things, right? So I literally just wanted the product because our products are that amazing. Back then, we didn't have the coffee, we didn't have the aloe, we didn't have the cleanse. We had a wrap, okay? And it was a shortage. It was a 4 to 6 week wait. Oh, I don't know if I'm host or not, if I can meet people. Perfect. You're on it. Who did that? It's like magical. Anyhow, so I started April of 2012, literally just wanted the wrap, was working full time in grad school, and I didn't know anything about this industry, the business model. I just wanted the wrap. Okay. And what I want to tell you is somebody looking at me and saying, how many words is it? Is it 6 or 7? I wanted the wrap. I couldn't afford it. I was working full time in school to getting my master's degree to become a teacher, 1 year old, 10-year-old, married, the whole kit and caboodle, right? So I said, I can't afford to buy the wraps. So she said, have a party and I will give you a wrap for free. So I did. I had a party. She gave me a wrap. And as she was leaving my house, she turned to me and said, you can buy this product and get a discount, or you can join me and make your own money. So buy the product to make me money or join and make yourself money. Had she not said that, you guys, I never would have considered this business. And so she left. My husband was out of town. It was raining. It was an April gross rainy day. And I sat on my stairs that night as my 1 year old and 10-year-old were sleeping and I cried because I knew that I would have to try this business because I would always wonder what if. Okay. She's somebody I trusted. So people that you know, like, and trust, they're the ones that are going to be game changers for you and your business. But I've also had strangers join my business and completely change the trajectory of it. And so you never know. It literally haunts me. Like today, I ran into Sephora real quick to grab some Christmas gifts. I look around and always think that could be the next person that needs this business. And so when you're thinking of who, don't overthink it, but don't make it such a big deal that you're afraid to just simply share. Um, a stranger off the highway was a double diamond for my ambassador because she wanted a wrap. And so, like I was saying, it was a 4 to 6 week to get week wait to get wraps when I first started. And some people were so negative about it. They were like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared to tell people about it. I, on the other hand, took it as a positive. I was like, these products are so amazing. We cannot keep them in stock. Do you want to get your stuff ordered so that you can get on a waiting list? And it was a fear factor that it made people realize, oh my gosh, it's that amazing that I need to order it so I can get on the list. 4 to 6 weeks is going to go by anyway, right? And so I joined the business. I text my husband and I literally said, and if you know me, you know I'm quirky. I'm really weird. I'm a weird human being, which is probably why I'm so quiet and introverted. If you know me, you know this. But I text my husband and I said, I don't want anything for Mother's Day. I just want $99. Don't ask any questions. Because we were broke. We were paying for my grad school in cash and everything was going. My son played football. He was 10 years old. That's expensive. And our rent, our, not rent, our mortgage. And so we were on a tight tight budget. It was so stressful. And so I joined. I didn't do a thing with the business. And then one night, about 2 weeks in, I literally had the plastic on my kit still, you guys. And I just thought, you know what? Like, why don't I just go all in, balls to the walls, if you will, go crazy and just see what happens? Like, see what happens. Because in my first month, just by sharing the product, just by being excited, I hit Ruby. Didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, I love this stuff and I'm so excited. And people were like, well, I want to join you. I don't know what you're doing. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing either, but the products are phenomenal and it's good stuff. It's good products that I felt good sharing because the wrap was blowing my mind with the results that I was getting. And so I jumped in, you guys, ignorance on fire, literally had no clue what I was doing. Built my husband as I built myself. We were 4 months in and we both went diamond. Okay. And I have a point to this. This is going to talk about conference. There's like it's all going to stem. So if you have questions or things you want to add, feel free to let me know in the chat so I can have you share. But I want to inspire you, but I also want you to get a little uncomfortable hearing this story because I need to get uncomfortable again too. Because I can tell you this story, but I can also look back and be like, how did I do that? Right? Because we can amaze ourselves, right? Like we go like this in life, ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows. It never stays the same. And so if you're in a moment right now where you're feeling like you're in a setback, like you used to do all this stuff and your checks were amazing or your body was so fit and toned or whatever it is, your marriage was in a much better place. Sometimes the setbacks in life can be the setups for something so much better, so much healthier, so much sweeter. Okay. So if you are in a setback right now, that's okay. It's just like that, that saying where if you get pulled back like an arrow, you're about to be projected into so much goodness, so much abundance, but it starts here. And Chantel 2012, her mindset was insane because I didn't know. I literally didn't know any better. And so I had no fear because I thought, what do I have to lose? You guys, I went diamond with my husband in 4 months. We both went double within 6 months. Okay, my double checks were 5 figures. It was insane. I was still in grad school because I don't quit things that I started. So I was student teaching as a double. And here's the crazy part. We go to Louisiana for the holidays. We're getting ready to leave this weekend because my husband's from Louisiana. We were going to Louisiana in December of my first year, and everything was crumbling. Everything, you guys, everything. And it was at that moment that I thought to myself, well, that was a fun ride. I made all this money, paid off this debt. So as we're driving, we're going through Arkansas and the rolling hills. I thought, wait a minute, like, why would I just give up? And so I literally pulled my e-suite and messaged all these people. And I was like, hi, I'm Shauntel. I'm your double diamond upline. I'm excited and I'm here to help. Are you in this or not? Most of the people said no. Most of the people were like, no, like it's the holidays. I'm tired. Like this is not, no, like they had no idea. But my mind had expanded. I had gotten on the calls, like you guys are on this call tonight. I had seen the checks. I saw the potential. I saw what the products were doing. I loved the company. I loved our leaders, the Pentecost and their stories. So everything was just like, yes, yes, yes. All the boxes were checked. And so I was like, I can't give this up. I love it so much. And so finally, one person was like, yeah, I'm totally in. Didn't know who she was. I just knew that somebody I enrolled her. She lived in St. Louis, Missouri. I called her and we chatted for 3 hours. And you guys, she ended up being the first ambassador to hit on my team. That one, yes, inspired me to like step up and keep leading and keep going. And so that was December. And the following month was January. I went to my first ever conference as a barely maintaining double diamond. I barely maintained double on December 31st of 2012. I went to conference. About 19 people from my team went. We got back. All the bonuses were crazy, right? Nothing compared to what we have now. Okay. But I got back. Everything was like set in stone. And I just excited. I was so excited that I was emotional trying to like get my team to comprehend what they had their hands on because it wasn't about me at that point. I was just like wanting them to have the success. I wanting them to have the results with the products and the business because both are very connected, right? And so I just started asking them, like, who's getting these bonuses? What are you going to do? It was a team effort, team excitement. So that was January. 2 months later, I don't know how this happened still to this day. 2 months later, my husband and I both skipped triple and promoted to presidential diamond in March. How does that happen? How does that happen? It's wild, but it was literally creating excitement, working together as a team. It was like, it wasn't about my promotion, it was about us. Like, we all have to promote together because this business, you cannot be greedy. You have to share your knowledge, you have to share, um, help other people. You can't just focus on me, me, me. If you're not helping other people, you will never be successful in this business. And so we got to presidential. I got 170,000 in bonuses, which is wild. My first presidential paycheck was $34,000. I about fell out of my chair. Like, literally, I remember I was like hyperventilating. I just could never fathom seeing that kind of money, right? And so a few months later, I promoted to ambassador at 15 months into the business. So life, like, you would think that that would be like the top, right? But it never felt like that for me. It was so overwhelming. There was almost a guilt. But then my team started winning, and I always told them, I want you to do better than me. I want you to make more than me. Like, I want to be, show you what you're capable of, but then I want to like slowly hide in the back and cheer you all on. Um, and so God has like really pushed me through a lot, you guys, in almost 13 years. And He has shown me that, you know what, like, I know you don't like it, but your team needs you to lead them. And I don't feel like a leader. I feel like a follower. My whole life I have felt like a follower. Like, I'm the girl that barely made the dance team in high school, barely made the dance team in college. I was a Chiefs cheerleader. Actually, my sponsor was my captain when I was a Chiefs cheerleader. She's the reason I started because I trusted her and she wouldn't steer me wrong, right? But I barely made that squad. And so I literally feel like life is like breadcrumbs that like God gives us these paths to follow, and it's also interchangeable, and it doesn't make sense at the time. But I feel like it's been full circle. Like, I feel like through this journey of It Works, I've been through so many lessons, you guys. Um, but I think at the end of the day, I'm finally learning like, I am a free spirit. I am an entrepreneur. I have, I hate having a job that requires me to clock in and ask for time off and puts limits on my income. Autonomy is super valuable to me. This January, 4 days into the year, my best friend lost her brother. Suddenly, very young. She lives in Paris, and she called me and said, "My brother died. It's our only sibling. Can you be in Denver? There's a flight leaving in an hour." And I was able to just hop on that flight and go to Denver to be there with her mom while she had to be with her deceased baby. It was heart-wrenching. But this business gave me that ability to not even have to question anything. Like, literally in an hour, I was on a plane. And so I don't care about the income, right? But the income gives me the freedom to live a life that lets me be there for whoever I need to be there for. My parents, my son is 23 now. He was so young. He was 10. He was 10 when I started. He's 23, and it's still like, if I want to drive 4 hours to have lunch with him, I can, right? I missed everything with him. Every Christmas break, he had to go to daycare, spring break, summer break. And so now it's like, I could be a grandma soon. I mean, he doesn't have a girlfriend, but that could be a possibility. And that's so important for me. And so think about and tell me out loud, like, not, I mean, not out loud, but in the chat, you know, for me, it was that freedom of time. What are some things that you could be doing? You don't have to share it if you don't feel comfortable, but write it down. What are some things that you could be doing? Because I will tell you this, I worked like a mad woman. I'm not proud of it. At times, I ignored my family. But those first 3 to 4 years of my business, I was a dog. Like, I worked like a mad dog. I didn't sleep. I didn't eat well. But I knew the light at the end of the tunnel was going to have a business. Did I freeze? I feel like I froze.
Yeah, you're
Sorry.
frozen, Sean. Oh, there
Sorry.
you go. You're good.
So sorry about that. But I could see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? And so you have to look yourself in the mirror, write yourself a letter that you can read to yourself anytime you're in the pits, because you're going to get in the pits. In order to get to the peaks, you have to go through the pits, you guys. I hate to say it because it sucks, but you just have to. And you have to know that that comes with the territory. There is no way with anything in life that it's all going to be rainbows and butterflies. You're always going to have the pits, but the pits are a lot easier when you don't have to worry about your bills. The pits are a lot easier when you don't have to worry about asking somebody for time off or worrying about losing your job. Because when we think about pits, we think about, I used to think like, oh, I got to be there for my kids. But now it's like, what literally injuries get people, your eyesight, car wrecks, like just so much stuff happens. 13 years later, I can see like tonight when Kara had to miss the Zoom, she was apologizing profusely. And I was like, Kara, like family first, always. Your baby is literally, she sent me a picture of her baby. She's 3 or 4 sitting in the hospital crying. I'm like, that's non-negotiable. Never have I ever had a job where everything can just stop, right? I was like, we'll just reschedule after the holidays. It's no big deal. Okay, Bree, you're definitely in the pits again. Listen, I'm in the pits too. I'm in the pits too. Like I'm a creature of habit. And so I love this business. I love the products. I love our company so much, but it's hard. I know how to kill it the way that I killed it back then. It is really hard for me to like readjust my sales, but I'm not quitting and I never will. And everybody that was on my ambassador chart in 2012, gone, gone. But that's okay because there's always going to be new layers and new incredible people and the people that stuck it through. And that is the reason that I keep going. Like it's not about me at this point. It's completely for them. And I know at some point, like I'm gonna get my rhythm back, but my goodness, like this job still pays me an insane amount of income because of that work that I put in that I'm not proud of. I've gone to therapy. I apologize to my family for ignoring them. My daughter was one. She doesn't remember. My son had a hard time with it. He was 10 and was like out of nowhere, my mom was gone. And I wasn't good about if I could go back, I would have told him like I am working for us, like I'm doing this for us. I just was so scared that it was like a short-term thing. But now 13 years later, I'm still the breadwinner. It still pays for all of our bills. I'm just so grateful. And so think about vision is so important to me and setting goals. And I think when people hear that, they think, oh gosh, my goals need to be crazy. I need a jet. I need a fancy purse. No, 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 no. Your goals can be whatever you want them to be. For me, I remember my husband and I used to live in a rental. This would have been, 2007, 2008, way before I started with It Works. And it's like, man, how do we both have degrees? He has a master's degree, and we're living in this tiny rental. I called it a shoebox. It was literally a living room connected to a kitchen, and then 2 bedrooms on the side connected with one bathroom. I'm like, how are we living like this? Like, how are we still struggling? And for whatever reason, my story has a lot of rainy days, but it was a rainy day, and I walked to the library and it's a book, but it's also a documentary called The Secret. Have you guys ever heard of that? And I'm not like into that kind of stuff. I'm very faithful. And so everything that documentary spoke about, I kind of connected, I definitely connected it to my faith. And so it talked about just claiming things. And so I made my very first vision board, dream board, prayer board, whatever you want to call it. And it had like all this stuff on it that really didn't matter, but it was stuff that I couldn't buy. I couldn't buy a cup of coffee. I couldn't buy, makeup and perfume and cute little purses and clothes and shoes. Like I couldn't because we just weren't in that place. And then I also wanted another kiddo. And so I put a picture of a mom playing with a little girl in one corner and then a house. I wanted our own house. I wanted to be done renting. And so I put a picture of a house with a white picket fence on the bottom. And I put that up. And then I also taped dollar bills all over our walls. The rental had concrete walls, didn't even have real walls. And I made those dollar bills $1 million bills by adding a bunch of zeros. And I remember my husband came home and was like, "What are you doing? Like, why do we have all these dollar bills taped up?" And I looked at him and I started crying and I said, "Don't look at them unless you believe that one day we're going to have millions of dollars." And so, fast forward the next year, within a year, I had my daughter and we bought a house that came with a white picket fence. And shortly after that, I started with It Works, and I've made well over $3 million with this business. That's insane, right? That's vision. That's like, doesn't even make sense. But you have to believe that for yourself. Because sometimes insane in the membrane, oh, I love you, Gabby. Sometimes the things that we want, you're just kind of like, don't be afraid to dream big, you guys. Don't be afraid to, and sometimes, I mean, I think like, yes, this business takes consistency and effort and work, but man, it's a lot harder to do some of the stuff I've done in past careers. I mean, I've been a real estate agent. I was an office manager for an orthodontist. I got my master's degree to be a teacher. I finished that, but I never taught, but I did student teach. I've had so many jobs. None have ever been as refreshing and enjoyable and life-changing and financially stable as this has been for me. And so it's not hard work compared to, the people I see picking up our trash during the week or the people I see out there saving lives, all the police officers and all. There's just so many important jobs. And I'm so grateful for all those people that do those jobs, but it wasn't for me. I knew that I like autonomy and I like being in control of my day, of my income, of me. I like having that control of my life. And so what are some of your goals for the new year? Do you have a set schedule? Do you treat this job like a hobby or do you treat it like a job? Because if you treat it like a hobby, absolutely that's okay. But don't be upset if your paychecks aren't paying you like a job? Are you open to trying new things? Are you open to being coached? Are you open to doing lots of different things? Because sometimes you have to try different things to figure out what your magic or your sweet spot is. All right. So, like, I know for me, one-on-one, small groups is my sweet spot. I love working with people one-on-one, big events, hosting big party, like all that stuff is just very overwhelming for me. I don't have like a big group of friends. If you're a person in my space that I text on a regular basis, I feel safe with you. I just get very overwhelmed easily. And I used to hate that about myself, and I've learned to embrace it. Like, I don't need to pretend that I'm somebody I'm not, right? I don't have to be loud. I have a very monotone voice. Anybody can be successful with this business. You are the secret sauce. You are the spark that can start the fire and create insane momentum with your business and with your team and with your organization. I'm trying to get in the mindset that this is my business. Yes, it is your business. That's the other thing. I have never been one to think, oh, so and so is not doing enough, or if it's meant to be, it's up to me. Okay, so if somebody is not doing the thing, don't give up on them. But I literally had a girl, you probably know her, her name's Hong Forrest, and she cheered with me and I signed her up and I was like, oh, she's going to be an ace. And she did nothing for 6 months, nothing, and didn't sign a customer, didn't sign a distributor. And then I came back from that conference in 2013 and said, this is what's on the table. Like, who's going to claim it? And I remember she wrote in the comments on our team page, like, I'm going to. And I was just like, oh, that's cute. That's so cute that Hong thought that she was going to claim this $10,000 bonus. Lakin, I will get right back to you. Let me finish this and I just wanted to say your name so I don't forget. Okay, so she did it. She went Ruby that very same month in January. In February, she went emerald. And then in March, she went diamond. And then she went on to go presidential. Like anything, ask, believe, receive. She was like, I'm absolutely going to do it. Lakin, so tips on coaching distributors. There's an incredible book called Go Pro, and chapter 9 is my absolute favorite chapter. It talks a lot about, so for a lot of people, that is one thing that I just happen to love doing. I love coaching. I love um, helping people. Yes, you're right. Eric Worre, Go Pro, chapter 9, game changer. The problem I see with people that sometimes coach is they're doing too much for people. You want to match energy. All right. So if somebody's giving you 10%, give them 10% back. Don't you dare give them 100%. That's not a bad thing. You're not being rude. Match their energy though, because some people literally want hobby money or they want cheap products. It is not for you to decide what people's goals are with this business. We are just, we get to share it, and our customers and distributors get to choose what products they use and how much they want to work the business. Now, creating that vision and telling stories and getting people being consistently there for them, that sort of stuff, that is what's important. Now, also, I think it's important to have conversations with your distributors right out of the gate. Honest, open conversations. What are their goals? Why do they want to do this? The book is called Go Pro. Go Pro by Eric Worre, chapter 9. The whole book's great, but that, and then also Beach Money, the book Beach Money by Jordan Andler. Is that his name? Jordan? Correct me if I'm wrong. What is his last name? Anyway, it's Beach Money, Jordan something. Phenomenal book. So just as long as you're matching energy, don't enable people. Doing everything for everybody all the time is absolutely not the way to go. You want to create layered leadership. So you want to help people so that they can do everything that you're doing and you're not having to do it. So you teach them everything you know, and you set the precedence. You set the tone for your team page. If you have a bunch of people that are constantly wanting you to do everything, that is not creating layered leadership. Layered leadership is you can go on vacation for a month and your team and your systems that you have in place are still running through. And so figure out what that looks like. Ask people. Don't be afraid to ask people, like, what does your team page look like? What is your, like, you guys know that we have these every Monday. That's a system, right? Like, so you have a place to plug in your team. Don't be afraid to do one-on-one chats with your team. Like once you are a distributor and you enroll your first distributor, you're a leader, and own that and be excited about it and be proud of it. Because, when I look at bringing people into this business, it's like I am helping the person that I used to be. Like, I wish I would have found this when I was so much younger. I was 32 when I started this business. I'm 45 now. I can't even imagine what life could have looked like had I found this at 20 or 22 or 25 or 28. It's just, mind blowing to me some of the things that people that are so much younger when they start do, but that wasn't my time. I wasn't meant to start then, right? It wouldn't have worked out the same way. And so, but yeah, so we are serving and helping the people that we used to be, the people that we wish would have helped us. And so it doesn't matter the age, it doesn't matter the demographic, nothing matters. That's the beautiful thing about this business. There is no common denominator except for if you want it, like there's just no excuses. I had no excuses. My mentor, my sponsor, she didn't know what she was doing. She was like a few weeks in. She started, I think, 3 or 4 weeks before me. So I never relied on anybody. I never had anybody to ask questions to. I just got into the group pages I was in, got onto the corporate calls, got to events. Everything is figure outable. If I needed to figure something out, I would ask, I would find it on YouTube, I would Google, I would use the search bar in a team page. Everything is figure outable. So you have to throw any excuse out the window. Like my leader is not plugged. That's an excuse. My team's not doing anything. That's an excuse. I don't have time. That's an excuse. There's excuses for everything. Every day in life, we have stuff thrown at us. So you have to own it, like no matter what. So write yourself a letter. Like, these are what I want to get done. This is how I'm going to do it. And when crap happens, I'm going to read this letter and remind myself of all these reasons why I want to do this. Because I don't want to worry about bills anymore. Because I want to be able to buy coffee when I want to buy coffee. Because I want to be able to donate when I want to donate. You guys, I remember one time 10 plus years ago watching the news and there had been a fire and my when the hairs on my arm stand up, I know that I'm called to do something, right? And I just was able to donate a stupid amount of money just because I could. That's the stuff that feels good. I have so many goals still that I want to achieve. Um, and because of this business, I'm going to be able to do it. And that's crazy. Just because my friend turned around and said to me, you can become a customer and make me money, or you can join me and make your own money. Like if she wouldn't have said that, I never would have joined. It just wasn't, I had too much on my plate already. My plate was already overflowing. And so I really hope that you take to heart everything that I said, set some goals. Um, and it, like I said, doesn't matter what they are. You know, what do you want? What are you willing to commit? How much time a week? What is your schedule going to look like? When I was working full time and in grad school with the 1 year old and the 10-year old, I would wake up before work and I would work my business. I worked during my lunch. After dinner, before and after I completed my homework and my tests, I worked again. And so literally working my business within all the nooks and crannies of my day. I had zero excuses. I was tired. I gained a ton of weight and I was really crabby and bloated. But like I said, I would have kept working out. So don't not work out. Take care of your body, take care of your health, drink your water, have conversations with your family, and let them be involved. If you have young kiddos, I wish I would have printed a picture of the thermometer and filled it in so that they could help me, so they could cheer me on and also help me fill that in so that they could see how much closer I were to goals that were for them, for our family. Um, yeah, so set goals. And it could be anything. I want to be able to get my nails done once a month. I want to be able to donate. I want to be able to buy a new car. Just all those things. There were so many things that I was stressed about in life. And now I just get to stress about stuff because it's just life, right? You know, parents getting older, kids having their hearts broken, all that kind of good stuff, which isn't good, but it's stuff I'd rather have than having to worry about bills. That is silly to me. I hate and it breaks my heart when I see people stressed about bills. It's the worst feeling ever. Life's not meant to be like that. We're all created and capable of having abundance, each and every one of you. I hope you believe that. You're all capable and worthy and able to not have to stress about money, to live in abundance. Um, and that doesn't mean you get a fancy house or a car. I drive the same car I bought when I went ambassador because it's paid off and she works fine and she's a Buick and I named her Tricia. I don't need a fancy car. I have gray hairs. I don't get my hair done because I'm an introvert. I don't want to go out there and get my hair done. So I dye it from a box still. I'm so cheap. I still, yeah. So if you see a gray hair, it's because I haven't dyed it in a few weeks. All right, Mandy said I work full time. I have two young kids. I exercise 5 days a week, volunteer, help my team, and work my business in the pockets of my day. If I can do this, anyone can. You're me. You're me. That was me. And it was a joy. Like those early days were some of the funnest days because it was like, I am doing this. Like I never thought I was capable of doing something like this, you guys. I never did. And so for me, it was like, okay, if I can do this, literally anybody else can because I'm not this organized business woman. You know, I went to school, I got a degree in history because it was the easiest degree to get. I love history because I love storytelling, but yeah, you just figure it out. Everything is figure outable. All right, if you want something, don't ask a busy person. Yep. If you want something done, ask a busy person. Absolutely. I promise you, busy people get stuff done. Macy said, I'm active duty and feed my soldiers once a month. I want to be able to feed them weekly and not have to worry about the cost. Oh, Macy, thank you so much for your service, Macy. That's incredible. You're amazing. I love your heart. Does anyone have any questions or anything that they want to share before we get off? I know your time's valuable. I have learned that at 40 minutes, people start zonking out. It's like an actual statistic. So I don't like to keep people long, but does anyone have anything they want to share, ask? Any tips, anything? You're welcome. What are your six must-dos? Like my six list? Well, I don't necessarily have a six list, but growing your network, being consistent, setting goals. You guys, goals have been a game changer for me. If I don't have something to shoot for, I'm floundering. It's just like if you're going to take a road trip and you don't know where you're going, you're going to be riding all your network, being consistent, setting goals, and having a schedule. For me, like I said, it was at the time I was just working whenever I could, but that was a schedule, So it's kind of like I feel like people think, oh, I need to do everything the way this person is doing it because they're successful. No, I mean, if you're wanting to be successful, I think you have to find ways to work the business that feel authentic to you. So some people are incredible in person, some people are incredible on social media, some people are roosters, and some people are owls. I am an owl. I work so much better in the evening. There is no reason for me to get up and do something at 5:30 in the morning because I'm worthless. Like I am worthless. So those I love that some people are roosters. I am not. Um, I have incredible results, 165 pounds, but I'm not getting the PMs and DTs from sharing. What am I missing? Okay, so for me, I love, okay, let me hold on, let me revert back. So my sixth list, growing network, saying happy birthday to people. Also, if there's somebody that pops up on my birthday list, is kind of mean, but and it's not somebody that I know, like, or trust or would want to work with, I will unfriend them. Especially if it's somebody from like 10 plus years ago that they've quit, they are negative. I'm very careful with who I allow in my space. So I don't like drama. I don't do with drama. Like I will not interact with somebody that's dramatic. I'm in a place of life where I want peace, drama-free, kind people. Like that's it. I'm very zen. So it's okay to be picky about who you work with. I used to be like, if you have a pulse and a social security number, yes. Now it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. So finding ways to network, you guys, is so fun if you don't I love that some people love being on social media. For me, my sweet spot is in person. And so it's very easy for me to meet somebody on a plane, at the grocery store, and drip on them. And so by dripping, I mean you're perking their ears a little bit so that they want to be connected to you, but you're not really going down oh, I do this and I want you to join me. Like, I don't do that. So, very, very cautiously, I drip on people. So, giving them a little taste, giving them a little something to perk their ears and make them want to be connected to me, the person. And then once I get them connected to me, well, what do you do for a living? That is such an easy way. Ask somebody what they do for a living. If you have a connection with them and you start conversing, ask them what they do for a living. They will always ask you what you do for a living. And I always say, I own my own online health and wellness store or business, whatever you want to say, whatever feels authentic and comfortable and true to you. And they're like, what is that? And so then I started this, and it's been incredible and it's changed my family's life. And I love to share the products. And well, what's your website? What are the products? And then I get their number. Well, let me text it to you, or what's your Facebook or Instagram, whatever. That is just like such a natural and easy back and forth. And so, yeah, so dripping on people. So not just shoving stuff down their throat, very tastefully dripping. And then once you get them in your network, eventually they're going to want to try a product or join your team. Whatever you are talking about the most, Joy, so I used to talk about the business constantly when I was brand new and I could never sign a customer because it was just nothing but distributors. And so if you're talking about the products constantly, and I'd have to see your page to be able to tell. So if you want to message me on Facebook, my Facebook is, I'll just type it. It's my first, middle, and last name. I'm public, so I'm happy to look at your profile and offer any tips. I think that if you if you post in a way that makes people It's like attraction marketing. It makes them intrigued so that they're going to want to be like, what is that? If you give them all the information and I find that they're not going to um, ask you for it or want to join or want to have the products. And so if anybody knows Joy or sees her profile or is connected with her and wants to offer her some tips, but I'm glad you asked. That's brave. I commend you for asking. But yeah, message me and I'm happy to look at your profile and offer any tips. Are you including the duration and the journey? Mallory, what does that mean? The duration. My apologies. I don't understand what that means though.
I
Oh, are you talking to Joy?
I think she means how long Joy's been on the products.
Oh, gotcha. That's perfect. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, if you want to share some more, Joy, about what you're sharing, like what the verbiage is and like what your pictures are, let us know. And if you're doing host to post, I'm trying my best in doing all the things and not seeing results, and it is hard, but I will not give up. How do you bring it up? Okay, so Lakin, if you know, are you familiar with who your leadership is? You know, your diamond, your double diamond, presidential ambassador uplines. Because I would ask if they would be open to doing like a social media, what's it called? What's the word I'm thinking of? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? We're I froze again. Lakin, you said there is no one. Well, how did you get on the Zoom? There has to be an audit. Yes, you guys are so right. How did you get the information for this Zoom, Lakin? We will find. Where's your last name? Big girl. No worries. I will find your upline. We'll get you connected to a team page. Are you on a team page, Lakin? Way, way up is the Duns, but they won't do Zoom with me. Well, it doesn't need to be a Zoom necessarily. I would have them. Will they respond when you message them? Don't worry. I am friends with Stephanie. I will send her a message and see if, because I'm thinking it doesn't necessarily have to be a Zoom because they do have a ginormous team. My whole team's under them. They have like gazillions of people under them. But I think that if you message them and just say, can you do a social media audit or give me some guidance on why you think that I'm not, that sort of thing, they'll totally do that. I do a social media training where I share my screen with my upline and it helps so much. I love that, Jennifer. That's such a good idea. Yes. See if they'll do an audit. Side sisters. Oh, yay. Sideline sisters are the best. Um, or any messages. Okay. And I'm sure they send you their Zoom information like in every Monday they do a Zoom usually. All right. Okay, well, you're plugged in. How long have you been in Lakin? And are you going to conference? Because if so, I'd love to give you a hug. Is that creepy? I'm not a hugger, but I like to hug people that I like through it works. Okay, well, I hope you're going to conference. I wrote your name down. So also an E-suite. Yay, 2019. That's okay. Going all in this year. I love it. It's never too late. It's never too late. Yes, conference should be a definite yes. You have plenty of time to earn money, but buddy up if you can't afford to get your own hotel room. There's lots of reasonably priced hotels around the area. You don't have to stay where corporates having it because I know that sometimes that gets a little pricey. Yes, okay, get your Christmas cash, like, and you could do it. But if you do end up going, I would love to meet you. So don't be a stranger. I'm the one with the big hair. All right, drop a one if you guys are going to conference. I would love to see how many of you guys are going. Yay! Macy. Oh, I can't wait to see you, Macy. Awesome. You guys are incredible. Teresa. Oh gosh, I love it. I love it. Ashley put two ones. Ooh, Merlane put four ones. You guys are amazing. Okay, Joy, message me and I will Joy, message me and I will I'm happy to do an audit for you if you want. All right, you guys, I hope that you guys have a great evening. Sorry this went over my 45 minutes. I hope this was helpful, insightful. So sorry that Kara had an emergency, but we will get her rescheduled, I promise. And I think you guys are all incredible. And I hope that you guys truly know that I believe in each and every one of you. You have the potential to make anything happen that you want to happen in life. Two reasons. I mean, I'm not going to win the Olympics by any means, right? But um, our mindsets are powerful. You know, with this business, with realistic expectation and goals, we can do anything, right? We can have abundance. We can have great relationships. We can have the ability to donate and all the goodness. So I am so grateful for each of you. Love you all and hope to see you at conference. And I will see you guys next time we have a Zoom. All right. Have a good night.